Metal Gods Meltdown, and I have with me Gonzo. Is that Sandoval?
Gonzo Sandoval, Drums of Thunder.
Oh, cool. From Armored Saint.
From Armored Saint, that's right.
Raising Fear, Delirious Nomad, and March of the Saint is to be released.
Yes.
That must have been wow.
Yeah, those are our three first Chrysalis records that were not in print for a long time, and finally, Metal Blade Records will be releasing them very, very shortly.
Yeah, I thought 15th of April.
Yes, this Friday actually.
Yes.
Good Friday.
Very exciting.
Yeah, very, very much so.
What's the media and fans' reaction so far?
I think people have tried to get those records and were asking us, they're not on iTunes, they can't get them on LP. Mm-hmm. And it was kind of a little, well, not a little, but it was just disturbing a bit because, we want our records out there for people to get them.
Yeah.
So, but they were on Chrysalis, and that was part of that deal, and things got worked out, and we're able to, get them from Chrysalis and re-release them on Metal Blade Records along with our 40th anniversary. So it's really kind of tying in everything together, and it's going to be cool.
It's going to be a huge party.
Yes, it is. That's for sure. We're looking forward to it very much so.
Yeah, you have a cool background.
Yes. That's what I was working on. That's why I was a little bit distracted, because I had all these cool backgrounds, and then when I logged into Zoom, it got rid of them, and then it gave me all their backgrounds, and I'm like, nah.
Yeah, so I have my own background.
Oh yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. Yeah, it's cool.
I have a lot of others, but it's a bit difficult to show them. To put the albums together. The last one.
Oh, Punching the Sky. Or is it Symbol of Salvation Live? We have a couple of things that we released recently.
Well, the last one, the March of the Saint.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh,
no. Yeah, definitely. March of the Saint, Delirious Nomad, and Raising Fear. And each of them has a special story, because the beginnings, the origin of Armored Saint is very special, and it's a story in itself. How, we're very, very young when we met. We're just friends, and we very young friends, and we grew into the love of music, the love of going to concerts. Early on, we've got stories. My brother used to borrow my mom's car, and we'd kind of pop start it and borrow it, and in the middle of the night, and go to the Starwood at very young age. I think we're 13, 14 years old, and my brother was 16, able to drive. So, we started really, really exploring that world very, very early on. And really, at that time, our goal as friends and wanting to form a band, and very, very young thoughts, we're like, if we could form a band and headline the Starwood, that would be our dream come true. And we really believe that. So
yeah, you did it.
Yeah, we did it, definitely. And not only that, I lost my train of thought, but here we go. There we go. All right, there you are. Now you go. I was distracted with all these computer stuff, and now we're back. So early on, it was a dream to just play the Starwood, and thank God, he had a different plan for us. We never got to play the Starwood. It closed down for obvious reasons. There was some bad stuff that happened there, and so the dream that was never realized. However, what was to come was the world. we only wanted to play that one little spot in Hollywood, California, because as young kids, that's where we would go, and you know, it was a dream. But when that didn't happen, you know, the next thing that happened was we started playing shows around town, and we actually did get signed when we were 19 and 20 years old, very young. And so I think that since we started getting into the scene very young, and then we got signed very young, somehow that kind of correlated. You know, we're young, but we kind of had, like, I don't know, some experience enough to garnish the ears and eyes of our young friends and fans, and then eventually the music industry, Ron Fair and stuff.
Could you keep your feet on the ground?
Could I keep my feet on the ground?
Yeah, when you were 19, 20 years old, I bet it must have been, wow, amazing.
Oh, well, yeah. In that time, everything was so new. It was so uncharted, you know. There was a place in Hollywood called the Troubadour where we really started, you know, and actually Blackie Lawless and Wasp was one of the bands that early on allowed us to open up for them at the Troubadour. And surprise, surprise, come the fall, you know, we're going to relive that moment in 2022. But we'll talk about that in a little bit.
Yes. Okay.
So where were we?
If you kept your feet on the ground.
Oh, if I kept my feet on the ground. Yeah. So everything was so new, so fresh, and we were all just driven and fired up. We definitely were. Armored Saint was a group of friends that hung out all the time. You know, we did everything together. We went to shows. We were just friends, and we hung out in John's car, listening to our favorite Judas Priest, Unleash in the East, and then some Michael Schenker, you know, Strangers in the Night, you know, UFO, you know. So we would all just get in there, and eventually on a Saturday night, the cool thing would do is get in John's car, park somewhere, get something to drink, and maybe, you know, and then listen to music together. Nice. And you know, that was our enjoyment. That grew into let's form a band, and then we went through the process, and eventually Armored Saint did get signed. Ron Fair signed us to Chrysalis Records, and that's where these 3 records were born. And each record has a special story. Like I was saying, in the beginning there was March of the Saint, and we were very young, and we hung out together, and you know, and we got our own rehearsal space, which we were there at least 6 or 7 nights and days a week. Yeah. So eventually, there was a lot of practice and a lot of time that was spent in developing the early Armored Saint songs. Were written together as a group. Everything was done as a group. That was the whole thing. March of the Saint, within 50 shows of when we started the band, which I came up with the name Armored Saint. I think it was 83. Anyway, when we needed to, you know, we formed the band, and we were going to do shows, and we needed a name, and then things came to me, and that's a whole story in itself, but it's beautiful. So March of the Saint, we did it all together. We wrote the songs, you know, we got the attention, we got signed. It was beautiful. It was like, yeah, like you said, I did keep my feet on the ground, but definitely was exploring all realms.
Good for you.
Yeah.
My personal favorite track is Chemical Euphoria from the Raising Fear album, and March of the Saint from the March of the Saint album.
Right.
Which song would you choose to play to an Armored Saint virgin?
Okay. So of that, Chemical Euphoria or March of the Saint, or my own? Or
your own.
My own. Okay. So if it was someone who's never heard Armored Saint, and I wanted to play the 2 songs.
Yes.
Okay, 2 songs. I would definitely start off with March of the Saint. Yes. That would be an amazing start, because that was symbolistic to our the way we approach things, and March of the Saint, Armored Saint, it is, and it was a, a group effort that was being, pushed by us, in a group form, all five members. David Pritchard, rest in peace. Phil Sandoval, my brother, and guitars. The guitar team was amazing. And then we had Joey Vera on bass and John Bush on vocals, and me, of course, on drums. And together, just pushing and pushing together. And it felt great. It was a great energy. And I think that, people felt that, and that helped us along, eventually get signed and move on.
Yeah.
We did do it within 50 shows. We didn't play a lot of shows before we got signed and the rock and roll party started. But so I think that's quite an accomplishment, and definitely at such a young age as well.
Yes, that was my next question. Your biggest accomplishment, but now I know.
Yeah. And so the second song that I would introduce someone, there's so many to choose from now, but back then we had a limited amount of songs. So I think I'm going to go back to all right, Can You Deliver is probably one of the most memorable riffs that my brother Phil Sandoval wrote, and it's still one of our top songs. So I would say those two songs are a good representation to someone that has not heard Armored Saint, like you called it, Virgin, and enjoy. But the catalog is vast. We're not a thrash band. We never blended into that world. We were always into just songs, whether they were slow songs, whether they were the fast songs. Lesson Well Learned is a good fast song, Armored Saint song, one of the first we've written, and but it was always the song that generated us. We did love to rock and keep it heavy, and we love heavy metal, and as kids, the influences of Judas Priest and Iron Maiden and UFO and so many others molded our view. But we definitely wanted to be a European style heavy metal band from America. That was our goal as young kids, and we've accomplished so tremendously on enormous amounts of things, and we're still rocking in 2022. I thank God for that.
Yeah, now we can again.
Yeah.
If you were stranded on an island for a while, which musician, dead or alive, would you have with you, and why?
Only one musician?
One
in a stranded island. Whew. Let's see. So
it can be a band.
A band too?
Yes.
Oh, wow. Okay. That's good. A band is great. So band, man, love to hear him Led Zeppelin, definitely. Wow. And then musician, if I only had one to hang out with, I'm a drummer. So, actually, Randy Rhoads would be really amazing to rock out with, because I really love his guitar tone and his approach and everything he was and is through his music. So that one.
Okay.
But there's so many more. Jimi Hendrix, Jeff Beck.
Very annoying question. How important do you feel it is for a band to have a personal interaction with the fans?
I pretty much think that's what makes it. It's vital. It's if there's no interaction there, I don't think there's anything maybe that can grow. But yeah, I think it's very vital. I think it's not only vital, but it's just essential to human communication. If someone digs your music and they're showing you love, one can only embrace the love and reciprocate the love back, and that creates a circle of energy that is all about the love of music. And from what I know, there is no stronger frequency on this planet or universe or galaxies than love. Love is the strongest frequency of all, and we all humans, we search for that. We want it, we love it, we give it, we receive it. It's a breath of fresh air.
Yeah, that's true. Just how far would you sell your soul in the name of rock and roll?
I wouldn't.
No?
No, you don't need to sell your soul. You can still rock it just as hard as anybody who has, you know.
Yeah.
It's all about the heart, the light, the drive, the intention, and the love of music and hard rock.
Yeah. You have a point there.
Yeah.
What's the most memorable concert you ever attended?
The most memorable concert.
Yes.
Wow.
One
Let's
you
see.
one of which you say, I will never see that again.
Oh, okay, okay. So yeah, like I did say, we started going to concerts very early. So I would say in the thousands and thousands of concerts to choose from. So let me just go ahead and rewind my mind
Yes, go ahead.
and pick one. So let me see. Let me see. Memorable, memorable. Well, I mean, I have to say that this was definitely one of the most memorable concerts. Was the Coliseum, and it was Guns N' Roses and the Rolling Stones. Believe it or not, and why I remember that is because I liked Guns N' Roses. I definitely liked Appetite for Destruction and Welcome to the Jungle. All of that was amazing, and for a long time, it just had the right vibe, the right color, the right boom, and for a long time, and it still does, but when I didn't I had seen them before, and I was like, well, I've seen them before. They're cool, rock live, yeah, why not? Then the Rolling Stones, so yeah, cool. So then, but this time at the Coliseum, they were like such on fire that I was just shocked at how amazing Guns N' Roses played those songs,
Yeah.
and Slash, every single solo was just like fire. And I was like, man, I was surprised because, like I said, I love the record. I've seen them before, but I didn't expect that. It was at a huge, huge place, the Coliseum in Los Angeles, and then I was just like, wow, I felt really fulfilled. Like as a fan, I was like, yeah, I love that. And and then so I was thinking, the Rolling Stones are coming up. Wow, they're rock legend. So then we're all waiting around, and it was just noisy. Everybody's drinking, having a good time, partying. And da 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 da. And all of a sudden, the lights went out, and it was like a hesitation or a pause or something, from what I remember. And then all of a sudden, boom! The lights went on, and the Rolling Stones were on. And I could have sworn that I got slapped in the face because they were so on the first note.
Yeah.
Bam! It was like bam, and I was like bam. I was like, whoa! Not only did I was loving Guns N' Roses, all of a sudden the Rolling Stones came on and they slapped me down with awesomeness, and I loved it. So that kind of juice, that fire, that energy that you get when you go see a live show, it's priceless. And that's one show that I'll always remember.
Okay. Growing up, which band posters did you have on your bedroom wall?
Oh, okay. Yeah, we're definitely into Kiss. We're definitely into Led Zeppelin and Queen. And as youngsters, we'd have that battle. Who's better, Kiss or Queen? Is the music better, or who's got the look? And so those are the bands that drew our attention.
Okay.
Black Sabbath, of course.
Yeah, of course.
Later on, though, first it was Led Zeppelin, then Black Sabbath for me.
Mm-hmm. Can you tell us about plans, tour or festival-wise this year?
Yeah. We got a lot of things going on coming up in the fall. Unfortunately, it's going to be in the United States. So we're going to tour with Wasp. and we're going to do a pretty lengthy 7 weeks or 8 weeks on a tour. So that starts in the fall. There's already 5 shows that have been sold out. So the response is like amazing. I know that WASP was going to start in Europe in March of this year, and that got canceled and pushed a whole year back. So now the United States is first. So I think that's going to be pretty cool. Yeah. And, you know, Armored Saint, let's see, we've got these 3 records coming out. They're the Chrysalis releases, March of the Saint, Delirious Nomad, and Raising Fear.
Yeah.
I was talking about the stories of each record, and Delirious is another story, and as is Raising Fear. And Armored Saint was definitely in different spots in the making of those records, but each story is super special. And but besides that, we recently did release a live DVD and a CD of our record, Symbol of Salvation. And we went on tour in 2018, and we played Symbol of Salvation in its entirety, and that was the first time we did that. I think it was a success. And you know, we recorded the night at the Gramercy Theater in New York, and made this DVD of it. So that's also available on Metal Blade. And before that, on October 23rd, 2020, during the pandemic, we did release Punching the Sky. That record is also available on Metal Blade Records. So we got a lot of stuff. Just go to metalbladerecords.com. You can go to armoredsaint.com and, you know, just browse around, get what you love.
Okay. I have a quick fire round for you.
Oh, okay. Do I need some water?
Maybe. I have some wine, if that's okay.
Okay, wine's fine.
Okay.
Wine's fine.
Yeah. Festival or small intimate gig?
Festival.
Vinyl or digital?
Vinyl.
Animal or Kermit the Frog? Tricky one.
Animal.
Of course. Beer or wine?
When I did consume beer.
French fries or Brussels sprouts?
Now Brussels sprouts.
Yes. Can you finish the sentence? Everybody needs Armored Saint in their life because?
I think everybody needs Armored Saint in their lives is because of what it represents, which is a positive, strong energy that is needed in this world right now. I think it's a calling. There's a lot of obvious, you know, good versus evil going around in the world, not only as war is going on, but in each of us. You know, we have it in our mind, in our soul. So I think the bright light is needed to shine the goodness of humanity and kindness and love of one another. I think that's a focus, and Armored Saint represents that strength, and that's what I think.
You think right.
Thank you.
So I would definitely like to thank you, Gonzo, for the interview. It was a pleasure. I learned a lot, and I will enjoy the rest of the music for the rest of the night.
There's also one other thing I'd like to mention is I've been actually recording and producing my brother's record that he's making. Phil Sandoval Guitars is making a record, and I'm playing drums on it and producing it for him. We're tightening up 2 tunes right now, and it's amazing sounding. So we're looking forward to releasing that in the future. So keep your ears and eyes open for Phil Sandoval's record. Yeah, it's going to be fun, and it's going to move you.
Okay. Well, Gonzo, thank you so much, and we're looking forward to seeing you live in Europe Belgium?
Yeah. Yeah, I hope so. I hope so. I hope maybe in 2023, as soon as we can get over there, as soon as it's safe. I know that there's concerts going on this year and stuff,
Yeah.
but I think they're backlogged, when this whole pandemic thing, everyone stopped, and so now those bands need to go rock, and we will be there 2023 or the next year, whenever the Lord wants, we will be there.
That's good. We're really looking forward to it.
Thank you so much for this interview. You rock, and keep it up.